honestly, the best version of a man is a man that's working to a goal.
What's going on, y'all? It's your girl K to the KC back with another episode of Dare to Talk. I'm excited because we are going into season 4 strong and consistent. This is episode 7. If you've made it this far, make sure that you drop a review, thumbs up, like, share, get your friends, homegirls, cousins on to Dare to Talk. With no further ado, I'm super excited to have my guest on. Tim, you want to introduce yourself?
Well,
Come
I
on,
go
hookah
by,
poo.
yeah, I brought my hookah with me. This is just what I could do. um, I go by Tim, aka Hollywood Tim, aka the best dressed man in New England, aka the wet room man in New England. Um, yeah, that's about it.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. How you been? I
I've
know it's
been
been a
good. How
minute.
about you? I see you out here thriving in Houston.
I mean, man, the change weather can do to your life. I try to explain to people here. I'm like, the seasonal depression, that shit's real. Because if you look outside and it's snowing or it's gloomy all the time, you're not really getting that vitamin D. It's your mental's fried. You're not, you
So
don't have.
here's the thing I always tell people about New England. The first day of snow, it's like, okay, this is cool, it's pretty. Then when it starts to get that nasty shit on the ground and it's dark and it's like, nah, man, it needs to rain so this can wash away. My car's all dusty. I don't even want to go to the car wash.
Oh, because of the salt. See, they don't understand that, Tim. The salt and the snow, that leaves like your car looking ashy.
I
And
got
then
a
like you
white car
just
and my car still looks ashy.
oh what no, but you know what? White's the worst in New England because after that snow melts off, it leaves that residue. See, they don't know nothing about the residue. See what I'm saying? We had a little bit of snow and they canceled school for like 2-3 days. Not that I'm complaining. I'm not
I was about to say,
complaining.
like, I would be in heaven if they're like,
Oh, that was
everything stops.
blessing. But it was like a little bit of snow. I had to tell somebody how to defrost the snow off the car. I'm like, wow, y'all living a good life. I would love to not be so knowledgeable about how to maneuver around snow,
To
but
be so green about something like that.
yeah. Okay, so I told Tim a little bit about this season and about, looking for love in all the wrong places. And when I say that, people have taken it to mean different things. And I'm always open and curious about when someone says looking for love in all the wrong places, what does that ring for you? Where does your mind immediately go?
You could be looking for love in all the wrong places anywhere with your relationship, your friends, your family, um, and yourself. That's a
That's real.
big one. Like somebody can make you feel like you are not good enough. And that shit will sit in your head and it will sting. Like that shit will hurt. But there's ways that you get around that and you learn to find yourself. And it's not going to be an easy task. I've been doing it for about ugh, 2.5, 3 years. And I'm just getting to the point where I'm like, you see how I introduced myself? Like, I'm
Yeah.
back to feeling like I'm that guy again.
Yeah. Do you mind me asking what made you feel like you weren't that guy at one point in time?
The people I had around me,
No, that's
the people,
real. Like friends wise or like romantical?
romantic and friends and family. Sometimes you have,
Damn.
sometimes you like literally, the people that are supposed to be your biggest supporters
Yeah.
are the ones that want to see you fail the hardest.
That's a hard pill to swallow. That is. And you know what? I feel you on that because I think when I first started doing this podcast thing, I was very apprehensive about like advertising on Facebook and on, platforms where I know a lot of people know me, right? And I think to your point, I think sometimes when we start to shed that skin that they know, that personality that they know, and this
When
new
they can't keep
person,
you in that bubble, it's
exactly.
like, oh, I got to put him back in that bubble, put her back in that bubble. They can't be bigger than what I need to see them be. If they get bigger than that, I may lose my control over this person, which is a real thing.
It is a real thing, and I think it's something that like you and I love that you were honest about like that's just not no overnight. Like you don't just like one day like oh okay I'm good now like
Two,
like oh I got them out of my life. I don't have you still have the like residue of the aftermath of whatever they did, and it could be something as simple as man I don't wear crop tops because people make me feel weird about wearing a crop top. Now it's just like I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna wear the crop top. You know what I mean?
listen, I was I got to a point where you knew me when I was a lot bigger. So I started losing weight and I was having people tell me it didn't look good on me. Like, oh no, you're losing too much weight. It doesn't look good on you. What?
No.
And I was like, I got a little insecure about it. So I was still buying shit like a 2, 3X,
Knowing damn well that didn't fit you.
knowing damn well it doesn't fit me. They was like, oh, when you wear it that size, it doesn't look good on you. It looks like I just came back from Atlanta about 2 weeks ago. And while I was there, I was wearing stuff that you would never see me normally wear. Like now, yes, nowadays, yes, you'll see me wear certain things. I went to a concert, I went to go see Trevor Jackson. And that night, I put on a biker leather jacket with a beater underneath
Come
and
on, Beta.
yeah, and some skinny jeans. And I was like, my people was like, you're wearing that. You did a good job.
Hey,
And
I
I
know
was
that's
like,
right.
okay, then I'm doing something right. And it's like, it's crazy because some of your biggest support will be from complete strangers. They'll be
Yes.
from complete strangers.
It's insane because I'm so I mentioned like I used to be weird about my shit, whether that's like this podcast, the other podcast, or whatever I got going on. And I will be honest, the first people to comment, DM, oh, let's link up, are people I don't even know. Like there was a podcast, I think the girls are, they live in Cali. They reached out. They were like, yo, let's collab. Let's, you know what I mean? Get something going. And it's insane the amount of people. Like I don't know these people from a hole in a goddamn wall. Right? But people that, I fuck with. And I've also kind of learned to, when it comes to this, not take shit personal. Because sometimes, and I don't think this is always a bad thing, sometimes people need to see the vision. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like some people, it's like I could talk it, you know what I mean? But how many people are
You
talking
sell your
about it?
vision to one person and they see that vision. They say, oh, I see where this is going. I'm jumping on that bandwagon real quick. They're going to tell
I'm
another
telling you.
person. They're going to tell other people. Maybe 2 people out of the 20 that they told jump on that bandwagon. Then you got another 40, 50 people that found out about it. You may have gained like 10 followers from there. It just keeps going.
No, it's real. It's real. Oh gosh. Dang. Not that they wanted you to be big. See, that doesn't make no sense. Dun,
It's crazy.
dun.
Like, and it'll be people that you think will be rooting for you. I One thing that really entered my mind is I was with someone and everybody the night that we was going out was like, yo, that outfit is fly, it was fly, it's fly. We get to the club and this random little Asian girl, I didn't even
Shout out
get
my
her
Asians.
name. Huh?
Shout out my Asians.
For real, I messed with him. She looked at me and she was like staring at me, and I was kind of insecure because, like I said, this person didn't even tell me, and they're with me. Like, oh, you look nice,
This
you
is
know.
what do you mean with you? Like this was your person?
Yes,
Oh wow. Okay.
and even her mother was like, oh, you look really nice tonight, and
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. I guess I did something right. She didn't say nothing, and we get to the concert, and
Yeah.
like I said, this little random Asian girl and her girlfriend were there. And the girl came up to me. She was like, "Listen, me and my girl had to come tell you that's a fit, and that's the first time I've ever heard somebody say that's a fit." Mind you, I'm almost 40, so I was like, they're hearing them say that a couple of years back. I was like, "What does that mean?" And she was like, "That means you're dressed nice." She was like, "I like your outfit," and I was like, "Oh, thank you." That triggered the girl to come over and then be like, "I know he did good tonight" or whatever. It's like, Motherfucker, you was with me when I was getting dressed, and you didn't even tell me like, oh, you look nice, you smell good, you did it, like you look amazing tonight. And I think a lot of women don't understand the fact of the same way women want to hear it, a nigga got to hear it too. We got to hear it, but
Ooh.
we want to hear it from our partner. If
Yeah.
the same way, if a man doesn't tell a woman like we're shunned if we don't realize she did something different to her hair, she did a new nail style,
Yeah.
we're shunned about it. Women, y'all got to do the same thing.
No, that's real.
You got to do the
I
same thing.
You know what it is? I would say that there's there's double standards, right? And I hate when people try to pretend like that shit don't exist. It absolutely does exist, right? I don't think as women we really sit with the fact of like, yes, men are like providers and the men of the house or whatever, but I think it's hard for us to visualize the like vulnerability that y'all still have, because it's not something that is so in the front. And if it is in the front, your masculinity is questioned and things of that nature, so it's like a double-edged sword. But I
Yeah.
think that that's something like, even I can't say that anybody I've been with, you know what I mean, I've complimented them or hyped them up, but I would absolutely expect my partner to hype me up, you know what I mean? So it's like, damn, like I don't. These are things you don't think of as a woman, because you just, oh, he's
Listen,
fine, he's
just
cool.
that little bit of a confidence boost that a man can get from a woman could take him from shitty Walmart sweats to Tom Brown sweats. Just like that.
Oh, that's
He'll
real.
try a lot harder just for you to look at him a certain way, just for you to be like, that's my guy. Like, he's doing that. Like,
To have a sense of pride, you want to be
yeah.
prideful about who you're with. No, that's real. What I love how you brought up that component of, I want my partner to know that, like, compliment me and big me up. What are some other things that you feel like your partner has to do? Because it sounds like, yes, that was a shitty situation, but it sounds like you took away what you're not going to do in your next go round.
Oh,
So what are
yeah.
some things that you're absolutely like non-negotiable, this needs to be present?
Another thing that I dealt with a lot, I did a lot of things on my own. If if my partner has a family event or a family function or something with their friends that I needed to be there for, I would be there. But there was a lot of times where, big up my homegirl Chandrea, she's actually said it the best. She was like, when it became public that, I became single, and it was like a whole bunch of shit being stirred and the pot being stirred, and it's, oh, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, or whatever. She was just like, okay, and she was like, and how many times have I seen this man come and skip out of things that we was doing as a crew to make sure that he was there, spend time with his people, and you ran to you, and you didn't wasn't even there at X, Y, and Z. So at first I was like, I had to sit with that. That was another thing I had to sit with. Like, damn, was I really not there? And then she was the one that was like, shut up, literally like that to me, shut up.
Yeah.
And she was like, you was there, you was there. At the end, yeah, you was just like, nah, I'm not going. I don't care. I'm not
But
going.
I'm also thinking like too, like when somebody everybody has what do you call that? A boiling point, right? So I can only imagine if I've dealt with this for months, weeks, I mean even fucking years.
Years.
You know what I mean? You get to a point where it's like, nah, I'm good. Like I'm not gonna exert energy that I'm not receiving.
I'm gonna touch a point with you, and it's all I'm gonna say is one thing, and you're gonna just be like, start laughing, or you're gonna be like, because you are gonna feel it. I'm a Pisces.
Oh, get on the mic. Yeah,
I'm a
yeah. We're
Pisces, and guess what? Guess what? We give chance after chance after chance after chance.
way too many chances.
Way too many.
Way too many. I'll second that. Absolutely
So,
too. But you know what it is? It's because I'm a firm believer that I feel like Pisces, we look at potential, and this is something I had to unteach myself. We look at potential and not, nope, what are they bringing right now? Not what can they bring once I, get them right and help them and coach them through. No. Realistically, you should be with a partner that's building you up. Absolutely. Like none of us are a finished project. But I
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't feel like I got to halt what I got going on for myself because I'm like worried about building you up and making sure you're good.
And I feel like right now, that's what I'm doing. Everything that I wanted to do, like, I'm looking at finally moving out of New England. Like, I'm finally
Please,
doing it.
come on. Yeah, I'm telling you.
I'm
You have
finally doing
such
it.
a big appreciation for New England, for Boston after you're out of it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I think it definitely made me who I am, and I appreciate that I have that that grit, that foundation, the like all the things, the resilientness. But at some point, you got to be like, hey, I got to put a plug and
it's
move
been
somewhere
real.
else.
Gotta
Yeah,
exit stage left real quick.
real quick. Have you thought about where exactly you would want to go?
I've looked at, originally, it was Charlotte, North Carolina for me. It was Charlotte. Then I've been going back and forth as of late. I was, one point, I thought Chicago, but that
I
left
heard
real
Chi
quick.
Town cool. Yeah.
It
Why?
is. It is. I'm
Why?
actually
Real
going to be
quick.
going there in a couple of weeks, um, just to go and kick it. I'm going for
Yeah.
business, but for the majority of it, I'm going to be kicking it. I'm going to give the business that I got to handle about 4 or 5 hours, and then I'm done.
I know that's right.
And then I'm just going to kick it in and go and explore. But I said I don't want to live there anymore. Um, Another place that's very high on my list is Dallas.
Ooh, Dallas is cool.
Dallas for y'all over in Houston, y'all cute, y'all cool, but y'all crazy as hell. Nah, like I need to be around young professionals that know, like, hey, it's a Monday. I'm going to bed.
I'm not gonna hold you. Houston is some wild boys. You know what I mean? It's like,
Exactly.
yo,
I
it's
love y'all.
Tuesday. We getting hookah and pouring up on a yo.
I got a
We
hookah
gotta.
at home. I don't need to go out for that. I'll
You
make
know what's
tacos at home.
insane? What's insane is I was not a hookah person like that for real. Like, man, because Boston don't have hookah spots like that. Moved to Houston. I'm hitting. I'm not going nowhere. Don't got hookah. I got a hookah at the house. I even got a plate to heat up the coals. Like I am literally a
Hmm.
hookah head because of Houston. So really, I don't blame you. Wild things out here in Houston. Wild.
So I was like, that's one of them. Another one that I started looking at was St. Louis.
Okay.
St. Louis, Kansas City, even though I hate the Chiefs. But the way of living down there is great. And two more that are completely off the grid for people and they're gonna be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Is Indiana.
Okay.
Indiana was another place I've started thinking about. And
Yeah.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, you gotta explain. You gotta explain those two.
Okay, so I'm a truck driver. Those are big trucking areas. Like, you're going to always find work. They're going to pay the best. And property, um,
Ooh,
their
property's low.
property is dirt cheap.
Okay,
Dirt
that's fair.
cheap. And you can build up your home to be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, from
Build it
scratch.
up to be whatever you want it to be. And a lot of people forget the All Star game, the NBA All Star game was recently in Indiana. So that means the NBA knows something that we don't know. Because whenever the All Star game goes to a place,
Yeah.
something big is coming.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And,
Huh.
most sporting events, if there's something like the Super Bowl, like Houston's had the Super Bowl how many times?
Oh, that's true.
And then it's a thriving area. Like, another place that is great to go and visit, but I don't see myself wanting to live there. For black people especially,
Yeah.
Scottsdale, Arizona.
And these are places I feel like the population is not that high either. So you have all that land and act. You know what I mean?
Listen,
That's not
if I
bad.
was to move to Louisville, the joke is I'm going to be the Black Larry Bird. Or Indiana, the same thing. I'm going to be the Black Larry Bird. I'm going to have a farm and I'm going to get out on the tractor. I'm going to be doing the most random things, but I want to be close enough to the city that I can establish businesses there and bring my Boston hustling mentality to that area
Yeah.
without going broke.
No, that's actually a good point. Yeah, I think, when I think about when I first decided to move to Houston, I absolutely thought about, okay, where is it that black people are thriving? Where is it that I can live comfortable? Because I think my issue with Boston is not the city. Like, absolutely love Boston, but it's so fucking expensive. I don't think
Too
people real
expensive.
way
We're
too
number two.
expensive. That's insane.
We're
That is
number two. We're
insane to
right
me.
behind California. I'm
And
so
and
mad those balloons just came up.
I I tell people like a studio apartment. I'm talking about you shitting, you eating, you cooking in the same fucking spot, right? Them niggas want 3,000 a month.
So this is what I even had to do. And I was like, this is crazy. I have to work in Boston, but build my home in Rhode Island
Isn't that insane?
just
Like,
to be comfortable. Just to
and
be
that's
comfortable.
and I think to that point, like you'll be able to build your house, but it's still with like so many stipulations because Massachusetts have all these regulations and things you can't do. So it's not like you can freely build authentically your dream house realistically. Then I feel like you got to go to Rhode Island to get the space because Massachusetts we on top of each other essentially. So you
You
got this
got
nice ass.
goddamn the seaport is nothing but clothing, like stores,
Oh yeah,
lounges, and restaurants that have apartments built on top of them,
high
and they're
rises. Yeah.
asking you for at least 4 grand to live there. You're taking half of my monthly income at that point.
And I like to tell people this because I think we think just about oh, this is the rent. That doesn't include, God forbid, I got a car and I live in Seaport, right? Now I got to pay for the car permit, car insurance, because that shit's gonna go high. You know what I mean? Car payment, if for the most part, the shit ain't paid off. You know what I mean? So it's like when you're thinking of relocating, and that's not just saying coming from Boston, but anywhere, you have to think about what is fiscally responsible of me to do. Where can I live a comfortable life? I think, the country, I think we all know the country's going to shit.
Listen, my black ass
Cause
afraid to get on planes right now.
do you understand? Okay, can we talk about this? I'm like, cool. All right, that's a little sketch. But two, yeah, nah. That ain't a coincidence.
Atlanta had to do an emergency evacuation of a plane last night.
You lie. I'm
I
not,
said,
yeah.
I'm
This
like,
is
yeah,
getting
man. Like, I haven't had a panic attack in about 2.5 years. Going on a plane is gonna give me a panic attack. And then I stopped drinking
no.
for like 2 years. So I'm like, I can't even get drunk to get on a plane no more.
Oh, like you're sober?
Sober, sober.
Oh, hold on. We got a hard transition. How did you do that? Not saying I'm an alcoholic, but I can have a good time without a drink, but a drink gotta have me. You know what I mean?
Listen, so I have about 3.5 years, no weed or edibles. And personally, I was never really a weed edible person. And then
Hold on?
once
Can I
I
ask
ended,
why did you decide like I'm good on the edibles? I'm good on that shit.
actually, when I was going to get my CDL license, that made me do it. Like, I'm good. I don't care. I only smoked weed maybe like 5 times in my life, and that
Okay,
was all in my mid 30s.
got you. Okay, okay, okay.
All in my mid 30s. So I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna miss this.
Yeah.
The edibles, honestly, I didn't like how they made me feel, so I was like, okay, not gonna miss that. I still have liquor. I was like, I'm fine. And then once I got out of that relationship that I was in, I said, I was like, you know what? I told myself, I'm like, you stay and you cope that way. So let's
Mm.
try to cut it out. Let's try to cut it off.
Yeah.
And it was only supposed to be for like maybe a couple months, maybe like just get my head right.
Yeah.
Then I started realizing I'm like, yo, I'm doing dope shit. Being completely sober, like I like this feeling. So I was like, you know what? I'm sticking with this.
I know that's
And
right.
the day after my birthday will be 2 years. So February 26th, I'll be celebrating 2 years of sobriety.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. That's
Thank
dope.
you.
That's dope.
Thank you.
I did like an unofficial dry January, and it's just because like I've been so like fixated and like, in on this shit, making sure I'm editing shit, dropping trailers and shit like that, that I've been
Hmm.
just so too busy to like sit and like really, take it to the head. But I completely agree. I think when you take alcohol out, it does for some, and I think that's any vice, whether that's alcohol, weed, cigarettes, whatever your vice is. I think when you eliminate that from your life, it is truly a testament of like how dedicated you are to something, right? Because
Yeah.
I do think there are moments when I would like be at the house sitting and I'm like, damn, I could go. Matter of fact, I'll tell you, I had orange juice, right? And I'm drinking the orange juice. As I'm
This
drinking
can
the
use a
fuck,
little reposado inside of it.
I'm like, God damn, this could use a little something. And I'm like, Khadijah. I'm like, nah, that's out of control. Drinking juice, thinking about adding Don Julio to it, that's insane.
So,
Um,
and that's where, like, when I say I was in a bad place, I was in a bad place. Like, I'm not feeling loved or appreciated. So I'm just like, gunk, 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 gunk. And it was
yeah.
bad for me. And if anybody knows me, knows when I drink, anything I do, I don't do cheap.
I
So
know that's right. Yeah, come on.
I was going like crazy. I was drinking like bottles of the Kevin Hart tequila every couple of days. I had to re up a bottle.
Oh wow.
I was drinking bottles, and I was like 1942, and I realized I'm like, oh, this tequila is shit. But I started drinking like the Avion 44, and that's like $150 a bottle. Re up in a bottle every couple of days or whatever.
Oh wow.
So I knew I was like, yeah, this is a problem, and I need to. Once I got what I felt like was, not helping me, I started saying like, you know what, this is it, no more drinking. And that leads to the next point of where I say like sometimes your friends could be your downfall. I have my friends, but people I consider to be my friends, which they should have been like, yo, good shit, I'm proud of you. And I had one person tell me like, you're still on that no drinking bullshit. Like, how is that bullshit? It's not affecting. I'm not saying, oh, when I'm around you, you can't drink. I'm just go for it, have fun. I
Yeah,
keep
have
a
a
fully
ball.
stocked bar in my house for if anybody comes by.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, it's not for me.
No, and I think that's real. But I think to your point, if you're somebody, and I'm just gonna go on a whim here, right? So if I'm somebody that like, oh, I only drink, high end, you give me the vibe that like, oh, okay, we all gonna drink good. Was that the energy? So can you imagine, damn, this was the dude that, made sure we was drinking good, had it good, all of a sudden now you pulling back and you're like, nah, I don't drink. It's a part of you that now they can't finesse or they can't abuse and use.
No, because the people that I kept around me around those times or whatever, they made sure that they had whatever they had or whatever. Like, it wasn't always on me.
Okay.
It was just like, oh, we have another bottle there, though. We have another bottle. But I'm the type of person, if I come to a function, I'm still going to bring the bottle. I'm still going to bring the bottle. It's not going to be a Casa Azul or anything like that, but you may be getting, I don't know, like
You getting a bottle. You got to be
yeah,
grateful.
you're gonna get a little Labo bottle.
Yeah.
One of my best friends, my brother, he's a wine and liquor distributor. He has great tequilas that he puts out for his company or whatever. You're gonna get one of those And you're gonna
I
be
know
like,
that's
damn, that
right.
was really good. You'll be like, people ask me like, you get more of that tequila?
No, that's real. That's oh gosh, that's real. I feel like you would have a good explanation or opinion of this. So I oftentimes, whether this is on the podcast or just like me, talking shit with my girls, we've had this conversation of what a good man is, right? I would love for you to, in your own opinion, define what a good man is. And are there still any out there, in your opinion?
I'm gonna give you ladies a very, very, very good answer to that. And I want you all to honestly sit with it and think about it. The
Okay.
best version of a man, because women love to say, oh, I deserve the best version of you. I've heard that before. And honestly, the best version of a man is a man that's working to a goal.
Mm.
He's working to a goal. When he's at his goal, like right now, I can say that I'm kind of at my goal. I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
And I can go in certain places. I can, okay, I'm gonna buy that. And I can buy it and be like, okay, cool. I didn't have to, okay, I gotta save for this. I gotta do X, Y, and Z for this. That man is honestly the worst version that you would want.
Ooh, say more.
Because he's not you wasn't with him in the struggle of him. You didn't see him at his lowest points of when he was like, I want that. I'm going to, work my ass off and get to this point or whatever. And I'm going to finally get that. I have a homeboy that was going through a breakup the same time as I was. And he was in the streets. And he told his girl that, mind you, she was with him for years. They have kids and everything together. And she was coming to him, oh, we got enough. And he was like, it's honestly not enough. It's honestly not enough. Rock with me for 2 more years. She was like, I'm leaving. I'm taking the kids. We're going to leave. He pleaded with her. He said, listen, give me, I think he said like 2 or 3 years. He was like, give me 2 or 3 years. He was like, I see the vision. We're almost there. And he was on some, not a terrible person to use, but I understood where he was coming from. He was on his ghost, but he wasn't cheating. He wasn't nothing.
Yeah.
And he
He
was
was
just
trying to
like,
build an empire
yeah, he was like,
type shit.
it's it's gonna be good for us very, very soon. Just give me like 2 or 3 more years. She came back after a couple of months and was like, I'm done. I can't do this or whatever no more. The man was heartbroken. And he knew he had to keep going. He was like, I gotta keep going because either I'm gonna get her back or I'm going to, you know, have to just keep going with my vision, but do it on my own. But I still got to take care of my kids. I'm still going to take care of her while she has my kids.
Yeah.
She leaves, and I kid you not, he reached his goal even quicker. He did it
Oh
in a
wow.
year later. So he did it in like, he cut off a year and a half. I'll say it was 3 years. He cut off a year and a half. And in that year that he was doing whatever and he was out and about and was meeting new people, he met a woman.
Oh shit.
So the ex-girlfriend, baby mama, she's like running around and she's like, and mind you, it was hitting a nail with me because I was going through sign of the same thing or whatever. And she's like, oh, he's doing it for this new broad, X, Y, and Z. Oh, I helped him build X, Y, and Z or whatever. No, you didn't help him build X, Y, and Z. You was there and you was with him when he had nothing. He
Yeah.
always gives you credit for that. That's why he says he'll continue to take care of you or whatever and make sure you're good in certain situations. Fast forward now. Him and the new girl, the new woman, I'll say, they're engaged, having a kid.
Oh gosh.
And the two children that they have are seeing like, it was never really my pops. Like they're telling the mother like, yo, we think we want to just go live with him. Like that's where it's at. Like we'd rather be with them.
Yeah.
So she actually called me and it was like, oh, it's fucked up. You all are giving these new women. I was like, first off, at that point, I'm like, you're not gonna put me in that category because you don't know shit about what I'm doing. You're hearing rumors from someone else,
And you going
and
based off rumors,
yeah,
not
and you don't
facts.
even know what the hell's going on about this being the best version of me. You don't know what it is. And I was like, and for him, I was like, you're not gonna badmouth me to him. I was like, that man told you, you knew what he was into when y'all got together. You can't
That's
take
real.
away from that. And he told you, he's like, yo, just give me 2 more years, 3 more years, and we're gonna be good. I was like, he met somebody else. It took him a while to open up because he was, like I said, he was heartbroken. I felt that man on that. He was heartbroken. And now he's in the happiest place that he's ever been. Happiest place that he's ever
Damn.
been. So to go back to that, yes, good men exist, but you don't want the end result of what you think is the end result of like, yeah, that's the best version of you. Because honestly, I say, and I see it with a lot of my homies and a lot of people that I'm cool with or I grew up around.
Yeah.
The best version of them was the one that had the hustle to get to where they was. Now it's just like, oh, I'm just reaping the benefits of it. I'm reaping the benefits of it. You may have the worst version of that man because guess what? His mindset could probably be like, you could be replaced in an
Right.
hour.
Right.
I can
Oh.
get somebody that is green and never seen a nigga with money and show
Yeah.
her the world, and that'll be the best. She'll be happy with that.
Yeah, no, that's true. Oh, wow. I never thought of it like that. But so basically, to your point, you're saying you women need to find someone who is not necessarily, you're still working, you're a work in progress.
You're a
Which,
that has
and
potential.
And this is the thing. So I feel like in the conversations I've had, and I even say for me myself, I think when we think of a good man, we think of the man who's like, hey, he's come, he's got his shit together, he's met his goals, he's, reeking in the benefits of hitting those goals. But we don't think about the shift in a mindset that is. Especially if you go from having nothing to now I got everything I need and more. Your mindset is bound to change. I don't care what anybody says, you're not
So
going
here's
to
the
be that
crazy
same
thing. You
person.
you just said something that's so interesting, and I stick back to it. A man with a dream and still working, and his goals are gonna just keep getting bigger and bigger. So he's never gonna reach his goals.
Realistically, yeah.
He's never gonna reach his goals. Like he's never gonna be like, okay, I'm here. I don't have to do nothing else. He's worried about, okay, what's the next business venture for me? What's gonna be the next thing to take care of my family? How can I make sure if I go today or tomorrow, my family's good for whatever?
Yeah.
So
Damn.
that's it's you're never really touching your goals.
Yeah. Yeah. Realistic. Damn, you kind of really blew my mind though. Like, I never thought of it like that. Damn. So, ladies, he may not be but here's the thing. And I'm gonna make a clear distinction. There's a difference between a man who has a dream and a goal, and a nigga who is a homosexual and just looking for a place to stay.
There
I,
is.
there's
There
a
is.
clear difference.
Yes,
Okay,
there
so
is a very
don't
clear
take
difference.
Leroy, who's been at his mama's house for 30 some years, and all of a sudden now he's telling you he's gonna flip your refund check. We're not talking about that
No,
guy.
first off, if you're 30 something and you're still trying to flip money illegally, give it up, bro.
They're out here. I'm telling you, it's not.
Give
They're
it
out
up.
here.
Like, go get yourself a trade.
I'm telling you.
Somebody hit me up the other day and they asked me, they was like, oh, I need a new job. I was like, okay, and what am I supposed to do? Like, only thing I can do is I can tell you, get yourself a trade, join a union, something.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can say to you. And don't just settle. Like when I got my CDL license, two of my homeboys that have their CDLs, they told me something, and I took that with me. They was like, they hit me with the Lori Harvey. They was like, "You're the prize. They need you. The companies need you. You don't need them really, except just to pay you." It's like they need you. So don't get too comfortable. If a place seems like they're not appreciative of you,
You got to check it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like go.
Oh.
You'll find another job.
You'll find, and hey, and that's my biggest, I think that's been my attitude towards jobs specifically, but just in like in general, everything I do, whether that's like the people I come in contact with, it's never that serious. I think too, to your point, when you spoke about feeling good with yourself, I think I'm at that point where I'm like, I'm confident enough because I will say, I think people really undermine the importance of self-worth and confidence, right?
Yep.
Because that'll take you a long fucking way. Now, if you're somebody that you don't understand the power you bring, let's go with the CDL license shit, right? Like your friend said, the companies need you. The shit don't move if they don't got drivers moving the shit. But if you're somebody who is insecure, you're unaware of like what you bring to the table, and that can work in any facet, right? Relationship,
Hmm.
life, work. If you don't understand the what you bring to the table and the value of that, you're gonna continue to be a sucker and get played in every, you know what I mean, way of
And
life.
that's where I was within my relationship. I was so insecure of what I can complete or what I can do because when I would bring it, it would be like, "Are you sure you could even?" Damn, nigga, I don't need you to tell me like. I would
Yeah.
talk. I would say that in my head to her like she's a female, and I'd be like, "Damn, nigga, you ain't gotta make me feel like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to do it."
Yeah.
And then I noticed that once I got out of that situation,
Yeah.
I was accomplishing so much in that record time.
So let me ask you this. When you were in that situation, was there any point in time where you were like, because I'm always curious about this too. When does a man know that he's like, yeah, I want to spend the rest of my life with her? Like, when is it that that clicks for you and you're like, yeah, I want to, you know what I mean? I want to be with this person.
That's where the insecurity falls back because it was like, oh, if you lose me, you're gonna be losing the best thing that ever happened to you.
That was out of her mouth.
Yeah, a
Okay.
lot of women say that shit. A lot of women say that shit.
Not Tim exposing women. I'm screaming.
Oh, listen, I for years I've been trying to write a book about the art of understanding a woman,
Uh,
and I always feel like I'm at the end of it, and then you all do something else to make me say like, "Yo, I can't put this shit out because it's not true. It's not right." It will
yeah.
be an ongoing thing,
Yeah.
and and it's vice versa. A man doesn't talk about everything he's going through, and that leads to women having to basically question the man like, damn, is he into me? What's he thinking? And it honestly be a lot of those things where it could be as simple as I seen a meme the other day. It was like they were laying on the couch and the woman's like, he probably hates me. He probably thinks that I nag too much. I do this, do this. And then the whole time it goes to the man's mind, and the man is only saying anything about one thing like, do turtles fart?
Yeah.
And that's literally be us. Like
Yeah.
sometimes just if you have the right partner, you sitting there with them for a man is so much peace that you could think about stupid shit.
You know what? That's a good point. I think, how often is it that we can say the connections we've had, relationships we had, truly brought us peace? You know what I mean? Like when I look at my past relationships, and I will say, I so when I was like immature Casey and I was like out here looking for love and oh my God, I'm such a ride or die. First of all, I'm not riding or dying for nobody no more, okay? Rode then died, you know what I mean? So I'm not doing that shit no more. But I will say is to your point, I for some reason felt like it was always the nigga's fault. Oh, he fucked up or he did whatever. And I understand now it take two to fuck up a relationship,
Yeah,
right?
and
Like
to
you know what I
that
mean? I
point too.
think I think and this is not saying homegirl wasn't foul. Like I just from off what you're telling me, she had some
No, no, no.
foulness
We're
to
not
her.
going to do that. We're not going to do that. I do
Okay.
not. I'm not bashing her in no type of way. I still wish the best for her. People. I don't. I, it's kind of hard to say. I wish the best for you, but I don't give a
But from
shit
a
what you're
no, no,
doing.
no. Wish the best, but from a distance. I get it. I received it.
Yeah.
So,
So it's like I honestly am that person, and I'm like I feel so bad when I say it because I'm like I'm happy for her. Good for her. Great. I'm
yeah.
happy for that accomplishment, but I don't give a fuck.
No, and
I
and two things could be true. Two things can absolutely be true. I think sometimes in when you're in it though, it's a feeling of like prime example. I say that like the one of my relationships, I thought I was like head over heels for the guy. I was like, oh my gosh, just everything I wanted. But when I look back, I'm like, I didn't know what the hell love was for real. And I want to be honest, when I look at my relationships, I understand more of, when people say, oh, you do the things that your parents do, right? And so when my mom, and I love my mother to death, we have like a hilarious relationship. I love her to death, but I can't tell you that my mom had people, had a steady husband. You know what I mean? Or showed me what love was. It was like my mom was like this alpha woman. She did everything. I know how to fix shit in the house because of my mom, right? When
mm-hmm.
something breaks or something's not, I call my mother. I don't think to call no guy or no male. If something go wrong in my car, I call my mom. And I think we get into a habit of like, oh, that's just mom. No, you then take on those traits, right? And so realizing it's like, no, I'm praising this nigga for doing bare minimum because I've been used to doing everything, right? And so when you then understand, like, there's certain shit that's like, that's not, we can't praise that. Does that make sense? It's like you're
It makes
breathing.
it
I'm not gonna
makes
praise you
sense.
for breathing.
It makes sense, but there's sometimes where that bare minimum that man may know what to do. He may not have the tools to do it himself. A lot of niggas don't have their daddies around.
That's real.
They don't have a positive male influence. Me, I'm the type. If you tell me like, "Hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z or whatever," I may not know how to do it, but I'm gonna get on YouTube. I'll figure it out, or else I'll call the homie that knows how to do it and be like, "Yo, come help me with this. Show me how to do this," and we good. So I feel like in those situations, those type of men need to be praised because it's like he could have been on some. All right, I'm just gonna sit back and watch you do it, or he could be like, "All right, I'm gonna help you with this, and let me let's figure this out together." Which honestly, that's what a relationship should be. Like we
Yeah.
can figure this out together. I know I'm about to get a lot of slack for this.
Oh shit.
That- I know I'm about to get a lot of slack for this. But the world and the economy that we live in right now, 50-50 is a real thing. It is a real thing. The man needs help, the woman needs help. There is no way in hell that how you should be like, okay, then, well, I'm not going to take care of the rent or the utilities in this house or whatever,
Yeah.
and I'm going to put it all on you to take care of. If that your partner's out of work, they're working towards a goal, and they tell you like, listen, this is going on. I may have lost my job or whatever. Because
Yeah.
I've been there before, and it was like you don't beat that person up. Guess what? They're gonna get back on their feet, and when they get back on their feet, it's gonna be one of those situations of like, I remember how you treated me or whatever.
Oh yeah. No, that's real. That's real.
And then that person is the bad guy, and so on and so on. The case may be, and it's just like, no, you didn't. You all didn't realize the abuse I went through at that time and point
Mm.
when I was just trying to do better. I wasn't out partying. I wasn't out. I even heard a rumor that I cheated on my ex partner with someone that I've been friends with for 20 something years.
Mm.
All because I went to a birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
All because I went to a birthday party after our breakup.
Oh wow.
After
But
our
you know,
breakup.
people get to getting to stirring shit up and making stories that are whatever. Do you think that women can be friends with men? Do you think that that's like possible?
Yes, I have a female best friend. I've done nothing with this woman. Never thought
Mm-hmm.
about doing nothing with her. If you see us together, we fight like cat and dog. That's like my big sister.
Mm.
But she always remembers my birthday. On my
Mm.
birthday, she would come from her side of the state to bring me my favorite cake that's in her side of the state.
Mm.
And nothing was given or
It's not
whatever the case.
weird.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
not weird. It wasn't weird.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't weird. But when I've had breakups or whatever, it was just like, let me guess, that's who you're going to be with. No, I don't want to be with her. Like, you just heard me
Mm-hmm.
cuss her out like 10 seconds ago on the phone.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be with her. Like, me and her, like, we have a great brother sister relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I know if I'm going through something, I call her. She's going through something, she calls me. If she calls me and she needs me, what was that? What was that joke or whatever? Kevin Hart said it. He was like, if she calls me and somebody's messing with her, and I'm supposed to pull up, but like, who's fucking with you? Them. It's my job to go kick them's ass
Right.
because that's my sister. If anybody's
Yeah.
going to give her a headache, it's me.
Period. I know that's right.
That's it.
That's how I
And
feel too. I don't think well, I also feel like we're also people that are secure in relationships that are not romantic. Do you know what I mean? Like you have a clear, I hate to say expectations, but you have a clear like set of like what this relationship is. And I think people that are like, oh, they can't, men and women can't be friends. You don't have clear outline of what that connection is. Or it's like one of you have a little more, dip on the chip than the other, and then that's a different conversation. I do think that it's very much so possible for women and men to be cool, but I would say that it needs to be aired out. Like, hey, it's not no friend zone type stuff. It's like, no, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't. You know what I mean? Like, we cool, we cool. I've never understood when people or women in particular get upset about, oh, this is my friend. This has been my friend for years. This friend been around before you. You think I'm gonna cut this friend or this connection off?
well,
You know
here's
what
the
I mean?
crazy thing about it is a lot, especially as of late, it's more so women doing that. I was blamed of being jealous of one of her friends. And
Like
mind
one
you,
of her girlfriends or guy friends?
guy friends.
Oh, okay.
Or one of her guy friends. Mind you, in the last maybe year and a half, 2 years of our relationship, that's when this motherfucker came to be. And I'm like, okay, I never heard nothing about him. Like, that's your friend, okay. Y'all met at work or whatever. Oh, yeah, but we've been knowing each other for years before. I never heard nothing about him. Whatever. It is what it is. That's just the type. I'm just laid back like that. It is what it is. Oh, I feel like you're jealous of him. No, I'm not jealous of him. I just don't like him. Once again, a Pisces trait of me. I could be cordial in front of you.
No, but we know how to read people though.
Yeah,
We
and I
see
was just
shit
like,
that other people don't.
I just don't like him. Like, even like I said, I was like, I just didn't like him. And I was just like, I get it. Like, yes, men and women can have like completely platonic friendships, but it's
Yeah.
just like now this is like, oh, this is my bestie, and we've been together for like 7 years, but this is it was 8 7 8 years, and you're
Yeah.
just meeting this person, and
And
you
that's
got to hold
bestie.
that, huh?
And
And
that's
it's
it. And
like,
that's bestie. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like you're telling me like, oh, I feel like you're jealous of him. No, I feel like you're jealous of her, and she's been around for 20 something years.
Yeah.
She's been around for 20 something years. Like, this has been my dog through thick and thin. Like, a situation that stands out was, and you know me for years, my grandmother on my mother's side. I loved my grandmother. I love my grandmother on my father's side too, but she passed when I was a lot younger. But I lost my grandmother in my 30s, and that for me was devastating. So I had to go down to Texas, bury my grandmother, and through the whole ordeal, my female best friend was calling me. She was like, yo,
Checking in.
yeah, like, you good? You all right? You in a good space? Yeah, I'm cool. I'm things that my partner should have been doing.
Oof. That's tough.
Things that my partner should have been doing. And she's catching that, but she was there, but
You could be
she's
somewhere
being jealous at
physically
me because she's
and
yeah,
not
but she's
mentally.
like she caught a whole attitude like, why is she calling? Why is she calling every day or whatever? I'm like, because she's checking on me. She's making sure that I'm in a good space. She doesn't need to check on you like that. I'm here. I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, that's why she's calling and she's checking on me. She's calling to check on me. She's trying to make sure
Yeah.
that I'm good. Make sure that I'm doing things to keep my mind off of the situation.
For sure. Absolutely.
And that became a whole ordeal. And it was kind of like I was literally waiting for her. I'm like, am I gonna get the ultimatum? Like, either you're gonna be friends with her or else we gotta break up. Because I already knew where I was going at that point.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving. Thank God she didn't give me that ultimatum. But then, like a year later, me and the girl, we broke up. We broke up, and you know, at first I was kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. What if the
Yeah.
shit that she said is right? Like, I won't find nobody better or whatever the case may be. That took my best friend to come in and be like, pow, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
What was her words? She hit me with the motherfuckers break up every day, B.
Motherfuckers break up every day. Literally.
And she
Yeah.
was like, and I was like, damn, you're right. So I started getting into my, my swing of life or whatever and enjoying it. And, you know, I told her, I was like a couple of weeks later or whatever, I was like, I think I want to start dating. Like, I haven't been out on like a date. And she was like, I think that you should. Good for you. And she was like, this heifer waiting. She was like, I'm gonna set you up a Tinder profile right now.
Okay, so this is a great question. When you're thinking about dating, right? Especially you've been in a long-term relationship, what are some things that you're like are your how can I say this? Like what would make you feel like, "Oh, you know what? I want to take her on a date. Like I would love to get to know her." Like what as, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Um, it could be anything. First, for a man, it's gonna always be that attraction. Oh, okay, yeah, all right. I see that. I see her. Then it could be as simple as opening up your mouth. The first thing that she says to you is what's gonna make you be like, okay, cool. I can see this. A man can see himself dating a woman. Honestly, a man can see the woman that he's going to marry probably in like the first 6 months of them dating.
Ooh, damn.
A man can tell in the first 6 months of him dating, like, okay, I'm going to marry this woman.
Damn. Okay. Jeez.
Because
I
let's be honest, men, that's never been the end goal for us. We've never seen, oh, I want to be married. I want to be married. Said no boy. Said no boy. But little girls is, oh, I can't wait to be married, have possibly have kids, and so on and
Yeah.
so on. That's more common to hear. For a man, it's like you have to be you have to have done something to make us be like, okay, then she's the one.
Yeah. Oh wow. I also feel like too for women, it's not a heavy burden, if that makes sense. Like I feel like women, it could be like, I got a job, I cook, I clean, and this is based off like the standards that society put out. I cook, I clean, I got a job, cool. Like that's enough. Come get me, ta-da. But a
Mm-hmm.
guy, that nigga gotta have a six-figure salary job. That he has to have money to buy a house, to buy a car, to, like you said, not to do the 50-50, but to do the 100 and pay the bills. And there's so much more I feel like that's added on to men
Mm-hmm.
where it's like marriage, they never feel like they're prepared for marriage, if that makes sense.
No,
Because,
listen, you literally, most of us never even seen our parents married. And if we have seen our parents married, it was fucked up situations. Situationships.
yeah.
Situationships, honestly. So, anybody knows me knows I love my father to death. But when my mother finally decided to leave my father, I was like, mind you, I was a teenager, and I was like, I'm okay with this. I'm cool with this shit.
Yeah.
I'm cool with this. And it was like, are you really? Yes, yes, good for you. Because
Yeah.
I'm a boy mom. So I would treat my father like men, we treat each other. Like, you good, you get over it. You find something new to lay up under. But
Yeah.
this is my mother. Like, this is my mama. So when my mother even entertained the idea of dating, I was like, and mind you, 13-year-old me talking about, I need to meet this man. I have questions or whatever. And then at that point, I'll be like, I don't like him. I'll get my pops back around real quick just to
Just
just
to
so we
even
can
this
gang
out.
up and yeah, like so we can gang up and he could be gone. Even though I know my mother's not going to be with my father, and I'm okay with that. But
Yeah.
this nigga gotta go.
I'm screaming. I cannot. I would love to know what is, before we close out, what is one thing? I'm all about like black love, positivity, everything to uplift the people. There was a snippet where I was speaking about, I think black women are not given the respect always that they deserve from black men. And I think now we're like seeing a lot of black women kind of venture outside of black men as far as like dating. And obviously I'm talking about, heterosexual type shit because that's what I'm in. And I think a lot of like my homegirls are like at the point where it's like, yeah, not fuck niggas, but it's like I need to venture out because the black men that I've come across, they're not really quote unquote about shit, or it's just never, it feels very secondary and not like I'm the priority or I'm somebody of value or matter. So what's one thing as a black man you think black women should know about black men?
I mean, this. I'm gonna be honest. I don't feel that that is really the case right now, and I'm gonna even say even in the workforce, black women are like maybe second in line in the pay force of black women are making more than black men. Black women are making more than black men. They're not neck and neck with white,
Yeah.
but it's probably about there. And that's not a lot.
Yeah.
They're where white women are pretty much at. So I feel like it can be one of those situations where it's like women feel like, oh, I got this going on, that going on, or whatever, and it kind of belittles the black man, and the black man will start to look outside. Even through this relationship, I was like, I'm not. I was like, I made a few jokes. I was like, Listen, if Suni Lee came up to me today and tomorrow, I'm gonna throw it at her.
Not throwing it
I'm gonna have little A. Marie's running around. But I, even through all this ordeal or whatever, I love black women. I don't see myself without a black woman. Like Summer Walker's like the heart of a woman. No, the heart of a black woman. There is that black woman that is going to let me take off the layers and be myself and be like, and tell me I am enough. Like, stop
Yeah.
doing so much. You are enough. You're good. And she's going to love me for me, not what I bring to the table, not my potential. Because, like I said, I'm kind of at the level of where I wanted to see myself currently. But my goal list keeps getting bigger and bigger. So, yes, I still believe in black love. I'm all for black love. And anybody that knows me knows I love women. I love women. But I don't see myself without a black woman riding with me.
That's real.
And to the women, like I said, just take a chance. Take a chance. If that man shows a little bit of initiative, because I'll be honest with you, black men, we take a lot of chance with black women.
Ooh,
We
say
take a
more.
lot.
What do you mean? Do tell.
With black women, a lot of them are just like, oh, the man needs to have his own car. He needs to do this. He needs to have his own place. And sometimes a lot of them are still living at home too. And it's like you can't throw rocks and live in a glass house, mama. You got to be able to take that chance. Oh, uh, the man could be like, oh, oh, you have to have a car. Okay, that man may be driving around in a 2002 Lincoln LS.
Yeah.
He still has a car. Oh no, his car is not new enough. He needs to drive an S580.
Yeah, I've never understood shit like that. Like, you got the nerve to be having a criteria as far as vehicles, but you
And how the
still,
game say
but
it,
you,
and you
no,
drive a Honda
eh,
Accord.
hold on, because we
No
getting on.
disrespect. No disrespect. But to those women that think like that, like, oh, he needs to drive this, that, and the other,
But they don't even
and
be having a Honda though. A lot of them be
a
pushing
Hyundai.
they be pushing the Charlie card. And you know what I mean? But I think that's a real thing of like you said, you are throwing rocks, but your house is glass. Like, you don't got a pot to piss in. Or you don't, you know what? And here's my thing. I'm not gonna argue with somebody that I know for a fact your bed is on the floor. You
I
understand?
got a whole bed frame. You see, I have a couch.
Like,
I
there's
have pictures
certain
on the wall. And you watch my Get Ready With Me videos, I have pictures on the wall over my record
It's
collection.
furnished. It's furnished. I can't. No, that's real. I think sometimes we need to. You can't. And I don't forgot what podcast I was listening to, but it was this black woman, and she was just like, we can't. You can't expect to catch what you're not, which is you can't expect a man that's, 6-figure salary, all this, that, and the third, maybe got, a little spot on a seaport to be fucking with a bitch from Roxbury who, you know what I mean?
And he's not looking for that. When most men that are in that tax bracket, he's not looking for that. Like, yeah, I mean, over like the last year or so, I did buy a fairly new car. Now I'm thinking, because the fucking car's been hit so many times, I'm like,
God
maybe this
damn.
car is a jinx. It's time for me to look at a new car. I'm looking towards a luxury car, but I'm like, I'm still down to earth. I'm okay with meeting somebody that is the chick from Roxbury. As long as I see that potential in her
Yeah.
and I don't feel that she's just looking at me and like,
As a
oh,
check.
well,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, this is a come up. Like, He said these places. He don't get it twisted. Like I said, I was just in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, and I ate at JJ Cricket's, the same place Mama D got proposed to at. I sat in that booth and I had I had wings. Don't get it twisted. I could have also been at STK. I could have been at Quavo's restaurant. I could have been at all these different places, but no, I'm just that person that I like to I like to slum it still. I mean, I'm doing okay. I'm not the richest person in the room. I'm not rich by a long shot, but I am comfortable with slumming it. I mean, I have to just go with precaution. Like, if I ever get back on like a talking level with my family and I decide to go back to the hood or whatever, my rules are very clear. And I've been doing this for like years after I heard Meek Mill say it. I tell my family, like, yeah, you can take pictures of me that I was here or whatever, but you post them bitches 20 minutes when I should be on the highway heading home. Do
No,
not
that's real.
post do not post any pictures of me sitting around here.
No, that's real. That's real.
Because guess what? The second there's somebody that I grew up with and I feel like their energy's kind of off or whatever, guess what I'm doing? All right, time to go. Gotta head back home or just out of this vicinity.
Yeah. No, that's real. That's absolutely real. I think a lot of times it is unfortunate that that's how we have to move, but I think a lot of times, especially in the era of like social media, people go based off what they see. And they come up with this own, oh yeah, she got her own spot. She got this, that, and the third. And it's like, no, 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 baby. I got this on Klarna. You know what I mean? I got this on Afterpay. But I think representation and what you put out is so important because sometimes that's the only story people get. Like you just
Yeah,
said,
what?
you know what I mean? If I don't got contact with somebody and they're going based off my pictures, right? Oh, dang, they living large or whatever. Yeah, because I'm not showing you that I had to stack up, or I'm not showing you I was really on my bully, real focused, zoomed in for X amount of time to achieve that goal, like you had said. So I think it's important to talk about, and I appreciate that you've been so like honest. Talk about, hey, shit wasn't always on the up and up. There was some shit I had to
Listen,
iron out, figure out before I got to this point. But oftentimes people glamorize
they have
getting
this
there.
perception of it was built overnight. No,
Yeah.
it took me. I brought my first Rolly 2 years ago, and it took me 10 years to save up for it almost.
Damn. Jesus.
10 years to save up for it almost or whatever. But save up to it for the point that when I do finally go and I make this purchase or whatever, I'm not looking at it like, well, I got this watch, but I ain't got shit in my house.
Yeah.
I
No,
can't go to
that's
the
real.
fridge and cook something to eat. I got to, and I learned I had to bargain to get what I wanted to get and how I wanted to get it. That, I think that has gone out the window. Like, people don't believe in hard work because everybody on social media is rich.
That's
Everybody on social media is rich. Let me tell you all a little secret. Let me tell you all a little secret. Most people that have money and continue to keep money around,
yeah.
they make friends with people in other places. So I'm wearing a Loewe hat. I got a friend that works at Loewe. Guess what she put me on to? She was like, well, whenever I want something from another store, I'm buddy buddy with this person. They use my discount, I use their discount, and it just is a chain reaction. White folks have been doing that for years.
Yeah.
And they do it in business and everything. So I said, that is pure genius. So I'll call her up and I'll be like, yo, I walked by Prada and I seen this sweatsuit that I want. Okay, let me call my homegirl that works at Prada. Boop, blah, blah. Okay, you good. People that work in high-end stores just look out for each other.
Yeah.
And I think instead of us envying the next person or wanting the next person to give us that push or that plug or whatever the hell that they need,
Yeah.
we need to come together and do that for each other. So if I have a plug here, yeah, especially in the business world, oh, I know somebody. you're opening up a restaurant. I got a liquor and wine distributor for you. Oh, I know a celebrity chef. I know a DJ that can entertain the crowd or whatever. What are they going to do? They're going to throw me the venue and let me have a party there if I need to do it. Or they're going to give me the blueprint for when I do move, and it's going to be a hell of a lot easier because they're doing it in Boston. I'm doing it in Louisville, Kentucky.
No, that's
It's
real.
going to be so much easier for me. So they're going to give me the blueprint.
No, that's absolutely real. I think that it is, and that's another reason why I love Houston so much. Is it's different from Boston in the sense of like there's not this crab in a bucket or barrel mentality. And I will say, I've gotten on the first job I got here in Houston. I got it because my homegirl in Boston had taught in Houston. She was like, "Yo, I know somebody who's opening up a school. Let me connect you." Connected me, got me a job, first year here. I was, solidified for the first 2 years. I'm like, all right, cool. That person knew somebody, you know what I mean? Like it's all word of
Mm-hmm.
mouth. But like you said, it's the mentality. You can't come forth and think people are just gonna give you shit for the sake of giving you shit, right?
Yeah.
It has to be an equal exchange. I'm not about to just put you on for the sake of putting you on, but at the same time, you
But
can't.
let's address that real quick. You can put somebody on for the sake of putting them on, but I'm not going to put you on and then you're fucking up.
There you go.
And then you
There you
come in,
go.
my person's coming back to me like, what the hell did you send Jerome over here for? And
Yeah.
this,
No,
he's not
that's
trying to do
valid.
nothing.
Yeah. No, it has, you have to put in work. And I think sometimes people, if I already know, this is why, Tim, I don't refer nobody to no job. I don't do that shit no more because I've done that and people have literally like, oh, no, because I'm on, Casey vouched for me. I'm good. And you feel like you don't have to show and prove and like, you know what I mean? I'm going to give you half of it. But the other half is like you said throughout, this whole session is like, you got to put that work in. You got to make
Listen,
sure that people know, now I got this stamp of approval because of X, Y, Z. You know what I mean?
yep. And before we go, another thing I'm going to talk about, we're probably going to have to do this again too. I
Yay.
want to just say this to all my black, brown, yellow, green, white, purple people. I don't care. Something that honestly helped me a lot, therapy.
Say, Tim, get on that goddamn mic and say it again.
Therapy. I have spent tens and thousands of dollars between insurance and myself to get to the mind state of where I am right now. And I went from somebody that needed to be out in the clubs, be seen or whatever, to now I sit at home and I listen to vinyl records.
I know that's right.
I find peace in so much different shit. I don't need that stamp of approval like, oh, he was with this person, he was with that person. A lot of people still need that stamp. Oh, he was at this event. You're not gonna even find out I'm on a plane to go somewhere until it's said and done. The one
Until
thing that you'll
until
probably
I
be able to
want
say,
you to know. Until I want you
yeah,
to know.
until it's well and done. Like I said, 2, 3 days later, I'll post about look at the situation when I went to Trevor Jackson. People was like, when was he in town? He wasn't. I went out of town. I set this business trip up I had to go on to go during that time to see him.
I know that's right.
Don't be
Okay.
and don't be afraid to get up and get out. Try new shit. Don't let your surroundings box you in. Box you in. Don't let people or society tell you you can't do certain things. I dealt with it for years. I let people tell me, "Oh, you're crazy. You won't be able to do that." To the point now, I'm even thinking about going back to school. I don't need to. I have a great career. I make decent money. I'm not going to say that, like I said before, I'm not the richest. I'm comfortable. I'm rich here.
I know that's right. Come on.
I'm rich here. Here, comfortable.
But
I'm
I think to
comfortable.
your point, all that you could be rich in a wallet, but if you're not rich here and here,
You're
it
broke.
doesn't exactly. You know what I
You're
mean?
broke.
So it's all about, I think, to your point that you've mentioned before, it's all about your perception and your understanding of like what's truly important. And if you understand that being comfortable money wise is not a bad look, it's not a bad thing, because this and this match. You know what I mean? And that's where a lot of it starts. Because if this ain't right, this for sure ain't right. The money's never gonna be right. But yeah, I appreciate you for coming on. I am always seeking, I think my podcast obviously has a lot of women listeners, which appreciate you ladies. But I always am looking for different perspective, and I want to make sure that I'm not just bringing on yes people on my podcast. I want people to challenge me. I appreciate you that you were like, hey, hold on, Casey, like, before you go there, let me, you know what I mean? It's all about constantly evolving, growing, and expanding. This session was definitely eye opening for me, and I know if I needed it, I know other listeners needed it as well. Once again, thank you for coming on. I appreciate
I'm
y'all.
coming to Houston in July.
Okay, don't lie though. Are you really?
No. I know I've been saying I'm supposed to be coming, but in between trying to find a new home and all of
Okay, you
that
got
stuff,
that. Yeah, you got
I'm
that. You
just
got that.
like, but I'm
July's good
definitely
though, because
coming in
the
July.
weather is gonna be phenomenal. Chef's kiss
No,
by
it's
July.
gonna be hot.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm.
Bet.
I got one of those little fan things. I'm gonna carry it with me, fully charged, and I got an extra one in the clip that I'm gonna carry.
Okay, understand that.
I will be there in July.
Okay. Oh, it's lit. All right. So thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Dare to Talk. If you haven't done so already, like, share, repost, tag. If you are interested in being a host on Dare to Talk, hit your girl up. DM. I respond. Make sure that you hit me up as soon as possible. I still have 3 more episodes that we got to get out. Tim, as always, thank you so much.
You can trust in me.